Salute Knicks Nation. The streets are buzzing as the Knicks pull off a heroic comeback win off the back of another Jalen Brunson masterpiece. We're ready to chop this thing up with the best chat in the biz. Tonight is a night to salute our heroes as they continue to defy logic and continue to win despite the referees, despite the doubters, despite being undermanned, short-handed. But the first-time All-Star, ladies and gentlemen, the captain, Jalen Brunson, Captain Clutch, sent the Pacers with their heads down all the way back to Hicktown. Tonight was a vibe, man, as the Garden was going bedlam. We're here to chop it up and have fun and break this thing down, man. Give out the grades. You already know what it is, too, fam. Salute Knicks Nation. What a victory. One of the best of the season, right? It wasn't pretty, but this one was New York City to a T, man. As the Knicks now 15 games above 500. No losses in sight, baby. Right, even if we looked in the rearview mirror, we'd see 15 wins and no losses, and two-time All-Stars. Julius, the third-time All-Star announced, Brunson the first time. And tonight, the Knicks did it the hard way, but the guys stepped up in a major way, right? 3 guys in double-digit rebounds. Man, DiVincenzo gave us enough offense off the Jalen Brunson 40-piece tonight was unreal. It simply was, man. The kind of sick fan in me loves these come-from-behind wins because, you know, it's exciting. And I felt like the Knicks would still pull this one out, you know, despite being down, you know, basically 7 at the half, 5 at the end of the third. Because they started the game, you know, tough. Right, they were facing adversity. The referees, right, we're going to go off at them tonight. Best believe that. But it's all about the heroes, Jalen Brunson, right, overcoming anything in front of them, right. And the start of the fourth was the main part of the game where I felt, you know, the Knicks were not going to, you know, lose this one. Deuce McBride, you know, he gave the Knicks an incredible spark, hitting threes, slowing them down, playing incredible defense. And that was the hallmark of this win tonight, man. Short-handed in the Garden, right? The crowd represented. And we were too much to overcome, right? Pascal Siakam couldn't lift the Pacers. They had some young players step up, right? They got some good young players like we know. But Tyrese Halliburton on a minutes restriction wasn't able to go in that fourth, man. And it was Captain Clutch time for Jalen Brunson, man, to really step into that MVP discussion now heavily. Now undermanned. Obviously, we've got the news with Julius Randle. Welcome in, everybody, as we're catching our breath, right, as the buzzer sounded just minutes ago. This is a case of a classic New York Knicks 90s victory. And we got the best chat in the biz to talk about it. Will, Daniel, old head, big task, salute, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight, the guys stepped up, the bigs. I thought clean the glass. Hart had a down first half, but he stepped up in a major way. Loose balls, scramble plays, right? Down the stretch, we know Brunson was double teamed, got hit in the face, and it didn't get the call, right? There's one of many calls tonight that didn't go our way, but we got on with the job. And that's the main thing. That's the hallmark of a winner. You know, a team that never says die, never lets their head down, you know, and just gets on with the job. 15 games over 500 now, and 9 straight wins, ladies and gentlemen. We are absolutely buzzing right now. In the absence of OG and Randle, right, in the OG era, we're 15-2. And the hottest team in the league right now, man, we're coming for that second seed. Right, that's all I can say, fam. Salute Wayne. How you feeling? Will says absolute bedlam. Yep. Right. Nothing captures the New York City like the New York Knicks, right? And we're on this wave, man, that we haven't been on since 1994. Now, it's been that long since the Knicks have had a 14-win month, right? We have 2 All-Stars right now, not 1, but 2, right? We know Randle won't be able to participate, but we thank the powers that be that recognized Julius Randle's talents and his accomplishments this season as well. And of course, our soldiers are going to continue on with the job. Jalen Brunson says, man, I got you, Juju. Just heal up, and we're going to continue to batten down the hatches and get these wins, right? We're going to continue buzzing. What's good, Edward? Let's catch Boston by All-Star break. Yep. I think Boston might have pulled off got beaten tonight. We'll see. We'll check the standings. But right now we're going to break this thing down and look at the road ahead. But, talk about a guy that we want in our foxhole, a guy that can help you win in these wars. He's clutch, right? And I feel better than ever heading into the playoffs, right? This just feels sustainable because we got Robins, we got Batmans, and we got Alfreds as well. We got the entire squad, and basically the Pacers learnt firsthand tonight that you don't play around with us, man. Deuce McBride continues to make a name for himself now, and maybe the trade talk is going to quiet down because, man, every single guy is stepping up, on this roster, which it just makes this feel even more real, more sustainable, and even more sweet, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet in the streets right now. John, salute, we're buzzing. Wayne says, I'm giving the game ball to iHeart. That man was a beast on the boards. I can't disagree with you, man. But tonight's going to be multiple game balls. But yeah, respect. Respect to you, respect to iHeart, and what he's been doing, man. We're going to pay that man, and we're going to keep him in-house, right? We're built for a sustainable run, and we're going to continue, man. We're going to salute our heroes tonight. First time All-Star, JB, MVP discussions right now. Put us on his back, tonight, right? Officially now he can wear the star as an official All-Star. Very emotional post-game. Jalen Brunson was trying to hold back tears, man. For those of you that just didn't see it, right? I was just watching MSG, before going live, and Brunson was fighting back tears, man, as the Garden was chanting MVP. Alan Hahn couldn't get any words out of Brunson. He's like, doing this here feels, a dream, and he's delivering, man, on his prophecy. This is what he was built to do, I believe, come to New York and get it done for us, man. But yeah, long ways to go. But this is just another huge notch on our belt, right? Beating the Indiana Pacers, who are full strength. Didn't have Halliburton down the stretch, though, because of the minutes restriction. So we're going to see this team again and again and again. But right now, shorthanded, we have their number, fam. Yep. Yes, sir. Precious Achiuwa is a keeper as well. We take the good and the bad. There's some ups and there's some downs, but yeah, he's a huge piece for us stepping up, in an incredible way with rebounding, hustle plays, loose balls, man. What's good, Samuel? Vaughn in the building. Yeah, I think, the fact that the refs and the Pacers try to take this one from us and we still said no, right? Top to bottom, victory tonight for the whole organization. The fan base around the world, the fans in their building tonight. Man, the Garden, atmosphere was as good as I've seen it, right? Coming across on TV, and it had that playoff feel, that chippiness. And that's what I kind of love with, these come from behind wins because, it ain't boring, man. It's exciting. But what really won us this game was the grittiness defensively. Guys were a step slow in the first half. They were getting loose. They were getting good 3-point looks, and they were hitting them. And I kind of thought, for us to win this one, we need to buckle down. right? And that's what we did. We started to clean the glass as well. We forced misses, and we got out on the break. You know, Hart was pushing it up the floor. Great ball movement again, ladies and gents. And we're forcing turnovers. You know, we forced 13. The Knicks only had 10 tonight. So that's a credit to Deuce, JB, all the ball handlers, you know, keeping the turnovers low despite high pressure game. You know, and a 21% night from three, we still overcame what was to be, man, a huge victory. And we got to the line. I think that was the main thing, 76% from the free throw. And the Pacers killed themselves, man, with 61%. Also, you know, we didn't have many assists tonight, but we needed to grind this one out. Get fouled, get to the paint. The ball was just not going in down in the hoop. But the bigs held us down, man. Like you guys are saying with Precious. This is a blockbuster heavyweight. Like Vaughn says, Tyson versus Holyfield, number 2, fam. But we're the ones standing, and it feels great, guys, to win 9 straight. And we're going to continue to chop this thing up. We got the next game. We got the Lake show. We got Bron and AD resting tonight, trying to be healthy for the Mecca. You know, everyone want to be a star in the Mecca and sit out. We have news about Joel Embiid as well, which is for later tonight. We're going to talk about Embiid's pending, you know, a spell on the sideline as well. So things are kind of breaking right. You know, we obviously got the Randle news, 2 to 3 weeks reevaluated, and then we'll see. We'll see if he can delay surgery until the off season and play with the injury. I'm feeling still optimistic. I feel like they're playing it safe. They're going to rehab, and then they're going to see how he feels. But Juju's not going to want to miss this ride, man. He's going to fight, like we know. He's a warrior. He's a fighter. He's been named an all-star for the 3rd time running, and I feel like that's going to give him a huge boost, you know, fam. Just like Deuce McBride gave us this big boost, man. Yeah, we're going to savor it, man. It was precious, like New Yorker says. No pun intended, too, fam. Yep. Like big pun, right? We're not a player. We just win a lot, you know. And we need to keep this ride going. I think guys are loving a bigger role. You know, there's something to be said for, you know, kind of end of the bench guys that get that confidence from the coach, from the fans. You know, they get that boost, that feeling that like, man, I'm part of something special. You know, and they just need to keep putting on for the city, right? Keep playing with pride. You know, Precious Achiuwa, you know, was thought as a throw-in, you know, and he's a guy who's stepping up, you know, in a major way. He's really, really impressing me as well. Before we look at the numbers and the box score and give out the first grade, Jalen Brunson, man, he needs a whole category of his own tonight, man. The 3 ball wasn't falling. But look at that, man. It was straight war in the paint tonight. Unstoppable. Another game, another no answer for the opposing team. He can go left, he can go right, he can go straight down Broadway, he can get fouled, although some reason the refs didn't know what a foul was tonight. You know, they need to go back and restudy the rules of the game. Last I checked, if you got punched in the face, that's a foul. Last I checked, Obi, if you lead with your arm out, pushing Devo off, that's a push off, right? You know, and so many buckets that he actually converted with physical contact through traffic, yeah, and didn't get the calls. Man, this guy is action man. Whatever Marvel superhero you want to, whatever your favorite superhero is, man, this guy's got their number, because this guy is playing basketball basically in a UFC cage, right? And that's no hyperbole, man. He's dribbling the basketball while he's getting punched, and he's still putting it into the cup as well, man. This guy's built different. I mean, I don't know what he's made of, but I want it, man. I want some of it, fam. Right? This guy is Action Man, Iron Man. and everything else in between, and the best is yet to come, man. We continue to talk about it, about his heroics, and tonight we savor the moment as we're about to give out the gold star and the game ball for tonight. We don't win this without JB once again. He's making a case for the real MVP. Salute. We did our best to almost give it away at the end with a couple of, boneheaded plays, a couple of fumbles. We were passing the ball really well, so, a couple of turnovers, but DiVincenzo, Brunson, and hitting free throws got this one in the bag. But yeah, Brunson was operating in the mid-range. He's a smart ball player. He knows when the three ball ain't falling. He knows what to do, man. 9 of 11 in the paint at the free throw line. He was 1 of 6 from deep, but 15 of 30 from the field, 50%. He finds a way. 40-point bucket night. And 2 turnovers only with an assist, 5 boards, and a +4, right, on a gritty come-from-behind victory, which we trailed all the way in the first half, man. Another game ball, another legacy night for JB. Salute, fellas, ladies and gents. 19 com man, salute. Let's go. Joe Long, money ball. Yep, Nick showed up with the game on the line. Hartenstein is a beast. Yep, definitely. I think these guys know what it takes now. They know we're in a battle for some hardware. I think this is a season where you can catch lightning in a bottle. Rivals around us are fumbling and bumbling and stumbling. And here we are. We're in a situation where anything can happen. Hopefully we blessed with good health coming up. And we're going to continue to talk about it, man. Like Will's downing a few stone cold style. Yes, sir. Old Head, great comment, says, wins like this are great confidence builders as well. The team win shows players have bought in. Yeah, and we're going to talk about the leader of this team right now, off the court, a guy who's been awarded another accolade, Mr. Tom Thibodeau. Man, coach of the month, salute, awards going around like candy tonight. And he's pushing these guys. I think he's challenging them. He's like, you guys are dreaming of this situation where guys are down and you get a bigger opportunity to step up. Take your chance. Deuce McBride, one of the top guys at the list. iHeart, Precious, even DiVincenzo, right? The Michael Jordan of Delaware, they call him. And he's a guy who's had talent and passed around the league, but never really had an opportunity to do what we're seeing, man, and be the sidekick to an All-Star MVP run, right? And a run to the 2nd seed. Tibbs has got us playing hard-nosed ball, and we're bought in. Like you said, Old Head, agree, 100%. But yeah, Deuce McBride, this stretch of play at the start of the 4th was unbelievable for me, because Deuce, Brunson was off the court, and we needed production in a bad way. We were trying to come from behind still, we hadn't taken the lead, and it was in doubt, right? But look at Deuce McBride, man. The guy's growing up right in front of us. He doesn't show any emotion. He gets it done. And he's hard-nosed, and he's stepping up offensively. But defensively, he put their guys in a straitjacket, really, right? He was so gritty tonight. This was a Deuce McBride masterclass, if you ask me, of a quintessential role player that'll just do whatever you need to get the dub, right? He drains threes. That big one on the elbow was massive. The drive to the lane here, and one. And then another drive and banker with the left. I think he got fouled on that one as well. So, incredible night for Deuce McBride again, but we have a guy who can close the deal late. And Jalen Brunson, man, congratulations on the first time All-Star. Salute, A+ performance tonight. Man, let's continue this run, this magical run, man. This is like an NCAA run all the way to the final. 19 Conman says 9 in a row without the whole squad and still standing strong. Yep, 100%. Right. Handling business, standing on business as well. Against solid teams. We beat Utah, of course, shorthanded. The team before them, were shorthanded. And then tonight, man, a rival. Yeah, as Will's saying as well, Deuce was so key in that third and early fourth. He was literally keeping us in it. Yep. Facts. You're speaking facts, right? He's going to get a A+ for me too. But yeah, if you smell what the Knicks are cooking, I think, like Oldhead says, I think confidence is big. And when you're playing with guys with great abilities, two-way play, and I want to continue to shout out Leon Rose, because when you assemble a squad of two-way kind of players, you're never out of a ball game. I think that is the key. Deuce McBride can give you offense, bit of defense. Josh Hart, a bit of offense and a bit of defense. DiVincenzo, the same thing. Ihart, the same. Brunson, the same. So you kind of want to go to war with guys who will play both sides, and you're never out of a ball game. And I think you're going to always find yourself in it down the stretch, and then it helps if you have a closer like JB, right, who's now an official All-Star, a reserve, but much deserved for JB. Stepping up in a major way, A+ performance, and a game ball, right? Now, multiple game balls tonight, because that's the vibe, right? It was absolutely a playoff type environment tonight. When guys step up, right, in a major way, it's just a thing of beauty, man. So we're going to talk about next man up. Is this man, Isaiah Hart of the city, Hartenstein. Ladies and gentlemen, man, another night with 19 rebounds, 8 offensive, absolute beast on the glass, 12 points, +9, only 2 fouls as well, playing defense with his feet, not with his hands. In the words of Clyde, got a block. He was 6 of 8 from the field, missed his 1 free throw, but 8 of 11, 8 offensive boards, 11 defensive, 19 total, and 6 assists. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an incredible stretch from Isaiah since, stepping into the starting unit. He's growing as a player. He's young, right, and he's built for it. Man, I'm so glad he's a New York Knick. But he's a perfect team player. Talk about a guy who gets 6 assists with 19 boards. I mean, holding us down in the paint against Turner. Siakam wasn't much of a factor tonight. I mean, step right up. You get the second game ball. Isaiah, and another A+ performance, right? Almost 20 rebounds, but 6 assists is the most impressive thing for me. Versatility, guys. He gives us that versatility. Guys cutting. I love him handling the rock, and he can catch the rebound. He can dribble it back out, and he can make a secondary play. How many bigs can do that, in this league? You got Joker, maybe Anthony Davis. Most guys are tempted to put it back up. Isaiah's always there for the putback, but he's calm with the ball as well. I trust him, right, with both hands. He can find the open man, and he's not even really given us the shooting that we kind of, hoped for when he came, that maybe he could be like a 3-point shooter. But, we haven't really even needed to see that from him, because he's so handy around the paint as well. His feathery touch is appreciated. A +9 and a 4-point win, right? second game ball of the night. Isaiah Hartenstein, man, he's got the heart of the city right now. He's playing tough as well. And as Tay's saying, between Isaiah and Precious, 35 rebound night tonight, man. That's just a tip your cap and a salute to our big men, right, in the orange and blue. And we're going to talk about Jericho Sims as well, who's stepped up the other night, a smaller role tonight. But yeah, big props to Precious, who we're about to hit on. But we need we need to give the flowers to Isaiah because he's physical. He's holding us down in the paint, and he's definitely pumped up, right? We don't really see any more players that look like they want to be here more than Isaiah, right? That's why the teammates love Isaiah. You see chest to chest, right? Old school chest bump, a la Patrick Ewing, Anthony Mace, in your face, rest in peace. Charles Oakley, John Starks, right? These guys are a real throwback, and that's the theme. And it's no coincidence since '94, this team, has surpassed, that team or matched that team's in Jan. Shout out to Buzzer Beater as well, who talked about this squad, them assembling a similar squad to the Chicago Bulls with Tom Thibodeau, right? You got Brunson as the Derrick Rose, point guard, score, light you up. As well, you got DiVincenzo, right, who's like the bigger shooting guard as well, who helps fill it up, right? Then you got your OG Anunoby, who's your better Luol Deng. And then you've got your Julius Randle, who's a much better skilled player than Carlos Boozer, right? And then we've got our bigs like Joakim Noah as well, protecting the paint, passing the rock, and making plays. We're telling the league we're hosting. Yep. John, still Knicks fans. Appreciate you. A+++. We could continue. We could keep going. What a pickup, Leon Rose. This was, man, 8 milli. There's a little bit more confirmation, that we can, offer Isaiah around the mid-level kind of money. We can't really exceed that, unfortunately. But I think that's going to get it done. I don't think Isaiah's going to want to go nowhere. Right, we're probably going to give him a nice 4-year deal at around the 13, I think the 13, 14 milli, for 4 years too. Let's get it done, man. Buzzer Beater says the refs should not be allowed to officiate another game, right? I mean, that's it. You said it. I could get frustrated, but we won, and I want to say that energy. But yeah, we know what happened tonight, man. It was almost a straight robbery in daylight. The refs need to be investigated. I don't know how many calls are going to come through the last 2-minute report, but yeah, Brunson getting hit in the face was just did it for me, man. And I won't be surprised if Thibodeau gets a technical or something, gets a fine. Obviously the Knicks, they do right to the officials, to the league office, and I think Brunson is also deserving, of an apology because they were pathetic. Tonight he was getting fouled so many times, getting to the paint, right? Slapped on the hands and the face, but we played through it, man. And I know Breen, said the Knicks were well within their right to complain, absolutely, but. What got us this win was the ability to put our heads back down and continue to go next play, keep our heads in it, and keep fighting as well. Because I would have been so frustrated if we lost this one, because you guys know the Indiana Pacers are the top of my hit list, right? I'm kind of glad, Halliburton was getting hot early, and I wanted that test, man. I wanted that smoke, and the Knicks responded like I knew they would. Undermanned, short-handed, and I know we're a better team. Even as we are right now, we got the win. Even when they picked up Siakam, I knew we're still a better team. But man, you give us OG, you give us Randle, you give us Mitch back. It's not even a conversation, man. we're on the next tier now, baby, and we're about to look at the league action. Old Head says wins like this, won't be surprised if it's making Leon think doesn't make any trades by next week and keeps the squad intact. 100%, man. And the reporting is starting to back that up. Like you said, Ian Begley, the latest he's hearing, and guys around the league are hearing that the Knicks are still talking about some moves on the margins. Still talking about maybe your Alec Burks, your Clarkson, maybe Kelly Olynyk, Bruce Brown. But the noise is starting to quiet down because we're making more noise on the court with the guys we have. Yeah, and like I said at last show, when players are stepping up, you want to promote them as well. You want to give them that opportunity to continue to play well, grow, and build that chemistry. You saw tonight how many chest bumps, and how much they want to play for each other as well. And that's what I said about Isaiah, right? He just gets a game ball A+ for his play on the court, but he would also get an A+ for his energy, his passion, and the way he carries himself, as a New York Knick as well. How many backup centers around the league bring that energy, right? Most of them just come in, play their minutes. They know they're a backup and they go back to the bench. But this guy seems super locked in, and he's always been that way. Even when he was Mitch's backup, he was always locked in. So he's been like that since day one. And this ain't something that's just come now when he's getting a bigger chance. No. He's been all about that. He's been all about it, and I can't wait to see him in the playoffs too, with a healthy Mitch back as well. And I know it's going to be an ongoing conversation, between what do you do if Mitch is back? Do you play Mitch back in the starting lineup again? You see, I guess, how he's looking. You see how they're practicing and all of that. But I think you can make a great case to keep Isaiah Hartenstein as the starter. And you bring Mitch off the bench, you ease him in. But it all depends, I guess, on what's to come, right? As we're bound to get healthy. Julius Randle reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks, and then we'll see how he's feeling. And then it looks like by after All-Star break, we'll get a good idea about can Randle go for the rest of the season? Does he need a few more weeks to continue rehabbing, or at the worst case scenario, does he got to get surgery? It's all still up in the air. We just got to continue praying, continue to be optimistic. I'm feeling positive about it. I think, they're doing everything, possible to make sure that, they can continue without surgery this season. Wait for the swelling, inflammation to subside. Let him rehab and see how it feels, But we continue rolling with the guys we have. Next guy up is the big ragu, Dante DiVincenzo. He was flame-throwing early. He was one of the reasons we were tight and in this game, because the Pacers were on a tear. They play fast, we know, and we needed to keep up. Right, DiVincenzo finished 8 of 26 from the field, 4 of 16. But he didn't let it, affect his defense, right? 2 steals, 3 assists, and 2 boards, 1 turnover, 1 foul, and a 20-piece, -4. So, inefficient night, from the big ragu, but he was aggressive defensively, important to, make them pay, and make it difficult for them to move the ball around. He's always going to be a pest. The shots were falling early. He hit his first couple threes. He just couldn't buy a 3, but then he hit a big one late, which did help seal the deal as well. Another, blight on the officials tonight is Devo didn't even get to the line. He didn't shoot 1 free throw. And he was aggressive, getting to the cup. So he should have got fouled. He should have got calls, but he didn't. Right. As Edward points out, going for their 10th 10 straight on Saturday night against Lake Show. National television. That's going to be box office, man. The whole league going to be watching that. And I think the NBA's kind of kicking themselves tonight because, no AD, no LeBron. Lakers versus Celtics. ESPN, TNT tonight. They missed out on this classic, man, Eastern Conference rival. Also, as Buzzer Beater points out, man, on the 31st of January, Big Ragu had his birthday as well. Happy birthday, fam. Salute. Welcome to the show, to the Mecca. He continues to ball out. Despite the inefficiency, right? He battled through it, made a huge play, A+, a B+, for me. But, right, it's all about the hustle, the energy, the heart, right? And not giving up. Because, we know we're shorthanded. We know, guys are going to have to step up and take on roles that they're not used to. And it's all about getting the win, right? Just continue to get these wins while we're, shorthanded, right? We're going to talk about OG as well because, OG, they're playing it safe. And I think the elbow, he's probably going to need a clean-up surgery in the off-season. But right now they're just waiting for the swelling to go down. OG's going to be back soon. I'm not worried. I'm not stressing it, man. Jerry, welcome in, salute. Win of the year, says Jerry. I think this is up there with the best of them. Not with the way we played in terms of flashiness, but grittiness, and against the odds. The Garden was the atmosphere was probably the best of the season right now. And we know we're getting closer to money time. And I think the energy is just building, man, like a snowball, an avalanche. And we're about to erupt like a volcano. We got people jumping on the bandwagon, ESPN, showing us love all across the board, man. This is a great moment to be a Knicks fan, and I'm glad to be with you all, rocking out. After a win like this, it's just amazing, right? Let's go for that 10 straight, like Edward says, and I feel confident, right? Guys are loving their new role, they're buying in, and they're delivering, man. So next two guys up who, actually speaking that into existence, they are stepping in from the bench to the starting unit. Let's hit on Precious Achiuwa, right? Filling in for Randle's absence. Oh, boy. Boy, is he stepping in, right, with 12 points tonight, 8 offensive rebounds again, 8 defensive, 16 total. I mean, shout out to anyone who got him in their fantasy team now. Is a big pickup. 4 steals, 2 blocks, +7. I know the Raptors fans are probably kicking themselves right now because we've unlocked something out of him. New York City, the Knicks, Tom Tibbs have unlocked the beast in Precious Achiuwa. Huge 43 minutes, man. I gotta shout out him and salute for that effort, man. He's all over the place tonight, man. He locked down Siakam. He made things difficult. He cleaned the glass. And that's where the game was won. Make no mistake. Late. They did get a few big offensive rebounds. And they killed us with threes. So we needed to clean that up. And we did. Right? The 16 rebounds speaks for itself. But yeah, got to the line 4 times. The 4 steals and the 2 blocks is absolutely money, man, from Precious Achiuwa. He's not going anywhere. He's here for the ride, fam. Best believe that. It's not even worth looking at a Gafford. It's not even worth looking at a Kelly Olynyk, because this guy's bringing better defense. Right? If we're keeping it a buck, we need to recognize, fam. What do you guys give for Precious Achiuwa? Yeah. Buzzer says Chewy can't shoot for Ish, but was a rebounding monster. Yeah, he is, and it's one of those sayings I say. If you're not good at a lot of things, just be great at one thing. When your team needs you, bring something, and when you bring it, be great at it, right? And he sucks shooting wise. He's got a decent touch around the bucket in terms of the banker or the lay-in. And he's improving with his hands, which is key, because he was dropping a few. But what he is doing, like I said, what he's doing great is beasting around the bucket, cleaning the glass, tip backs, using his length to be disruptive, getting the 4 steals and the 2 blocks too tonight, fam. Man, Obi Toppin was going at us, man. You know it meant something to Obi tonight, especially with his bro on the bench, the family in the building. That just added to what was a crazy, inspiring night all around. Brunson emotional. We're reeling still from the news from Julius Randle. We still don't know what's up with OG, really, and when he can be good. But the best thing is, the guys that can suit up are suiting up, and stepping up, right? And Precious Achiuwa is the top of the list. Great trade from Leon Rose. While OG is down, the other half of that OG trade is paying off in spades, ladies and gentlemen, with Precious Achiuwa getting an A+ tonight, right? Perfect sidekick for iHeart in terms of the Hustle Brothers, right? I'm going to call them the Hustle Brothers because, when you lose Randle, all right, we're losing the scoring. We know that. But we need the physicality Randle brings, right? DiVincenzo stepping in for the scoring part that we miss with Randle, but we need that bully ball element, right? And that's what Precious has actually given us, together with iHeart and the Hustle Brothers. I think we can ride this wave because if we continue to be bullies in the paint, I think we get the kickouts, and we know Brunson and Devo is going to be money. They're going to give us that spark that we need offensively. We just need these guys to continue to be solid. And Precious is being more than solid. Right, 43 minutes, man. I mean, it's absolutely insane going from basically out of the rotation in the Raptors, a god-awful team out of the play-in situation, to being traded to the Mecca, and then stepping on, wearing the cape, putting on your suit, and stepping in and playing 43 minutes for a Tom Thibodeau ball club, surging up to the 2nd seed, right? He's loving it. I know Chewy's been posting on Instagram. He's been letting out some steam, and he's been letting the world know that he's thriving. He's loving this spotlight, fam. And I think the trade's going to continue to pay off in spades, because we did see a little bit of action from Malachi. And we'll talk about Malachi as well tonight. He might factor in a lot more, if guys continue to miss. But yeah, giving us two-way play, is Achiuwa, and it's invaluable, what he's bringing us. Long may it continue, fam. And with that said, the next guy up, the final New York Knicks starter tonight, is the one and only Josh Hart of New York. The lightning bolt from last year, Josh Hart, right? He had a very frustrating first half. He was up and he was down, man. 0 of 6 from the field. He was missing. He was hesitating. Missed his 3 threes. But he was aggressive, like Josh Hart does, man. He's the energy bunny. 5 of 6 from the free throw. That was solid, right? 9 rebounds defensive, 12 total, and 3 assists and 2 blocks tonight, right? And a 0 in the plus minus with 5 points. So Hart, it was a tale of two halves for him tonight. But man, was his second half amazing as well in terms of hustle and being defensively sound, guarding the bigger guy, right? We know it's not what he likes to do. He's talked about it on the record. But, going up against Pascal and keeping him, neutralized, I think Josh Hart well and truly earned his money tonight. He was absolutely big time, late, stepping up. I'm going to give him a B plus because his energy, his play late was critical, making so many plays. Right, 12 rebounds from the guard spot, playing undersized. Right, but getting 2 blocks as well. We need that, right? Short-handed. We need to continue to get this from everyone, and we're going to continue to winning too. Buzz is asking how many teams are sending at least 2 players to the All-Star game. Not many, man. Great question, man. I think the Bucks, off the top of my head, Dame. I think Dame and Giannis. Who else? I don't think 2 players from Minnesota are getting through. I think it's just Ant-Man. So, yeah, it might just be us and the Bucks. But, yeah, great question, Randle will miss the game, unfortunately. And even if he's healthy, he shouldn't, risk it anyway. Even if he just became healthy, it'd be pointless. But you just reminded me as well. For those that don't know, we also got some news from Chris Haynes that the captain, Jalen Brunson, has accepted the offer to partake in the 3-point shooting contest, fam. Ladies and gentlemen, Brunstoppable is going to light the world up from the 3-point line in the 3-point contest, man, against Steph Curry and company. That's going to be fun, man. He's shooting at a record clip. And that was some more good news to come out of tonight as well. So, yeah, man. Yeah, appreciate you, Ladu. Miami Heat's got Butler and Bam Adebayo. I think, not too many teams, too. Butler didn't make it, though. Okay, that's interesting. He might... they were announced already. So, I think that's fair. He has had a up and down season, right? But yeah, that was the starting lineup. Too. And there's so many different more game balls we could have given out. We'll keep it at that. But I think Deuce McBride, right? He was so close, but obviously, he didn't play huge minutes. Or 29 actually. 29 was quite solid. 6 of 13. 3 of 8 from deep, on a night where we couldn't hit threes. Right. I'm changing my mind, right? He's getting another game ball. Right. Because his play, especially on the stat sheet as well, right? Some things don't show up on the box score, but Deuce McBride was the catalyst late to help us get this big win. 16 points, was a team high, plus 10. And 3 of 8 from from deep, 1 of 1 from the free throw, converted the and one, got us a rebound and 2 steals as well. Talk about a guy, man, whose value $3 million is quite insane for this guy. I'm glad we paid the man. I'm glad we extended him. In the absence of Emmanuel Quickly, Quick must have given in a secret sauce, man, because since Quickly left, Deuce McBride's 3-point shooting, man, has just turned a new leaf. Man, salute. Talk about big stones, man. He was hitting clutch threes as well early in that fourth, like Will says. Talk about coming through inspired. This guy is riving, man. He's a big game baller. He's not rattled. He'll play tough on both sides, and he'll get in the opponent's face. He'll make it really difficult for them, right? So, Deuce McBride deserves a game ball for me. The 3-point shooting remains the story, for Deuce. I know we had the struggles kind of offensively organizing guys, and I think, that still is the one selling point, but behind, getting another piece. I still lean towards Leon will get, a marginal piece, but someone who can, provide that ball handling and creation, off the bench. It might not be a Brogdon. It might be a secondary ball handler, like a Alec Burks, kind of thing. But, like Nick Yak's also saying McBride forced 4 turnovers. Yep. And Ladu says McBride was big. I mean, That's what keeps you winning, man. A ball club who's got, guys not high up on the payroll, but high up in pride, high up in intensity, energy. They're bringing it, and we really can seriously win this 50 plus win season, right? If we continue to claw out and get these wins while we're shorthanded, we get guys back. I think the Celtics, they don't want to see us, man. Yep. Yeah, as Clemente says too, this is why Brunson should have been the all-star starter. 100% on the money. Like Jalen Brunson's on the money. Yeah. Talk about a guy who's deserving of it. And there's no more slander. Knicks fans shouldn't deal with any haters who try to downplay Brunson's, oh yeah, he's good, but he's not great. All of that BS, right? He's a guy who's an all-star now, right? And he's in the MVP conversation for me, right? We're shorthanded. We continue to win, right? We beat Halliburton and the Pacers tonight. What more do these guys need to do, to get that respect, right? So, with Deuce getting loose, A+ for his grade tonight, man. He continues to step up, like I said, in the absence of Quickly, and being the floor general off the bench, letting Brunson have a little bit of rest. I mean, Brunson only played 36 tonight, so that we can't gloss over that, man. On a heroic night where we could expect Brunson to have to play 40, 45, 42 minutes. I mean, Brunson only played 36, with Deuce McBride playing almost 30. I mean, another game ball A+, right? Real six-man of the year qualities. Well, like I said, maybe Quickly left some secret sauce, out there for Deuce. Because, since that trade, I think the Knicks knew it. They knew that we could unlock something more out of Deuce, with a bigger chance. And he's delivering, too. Yeah, Burks is on an expiring contract. Hans in the building, salute. Yep, we're going for that 10th straight against the Lake Show. Yep. But yeah, Deuce McBride's defense is definitely one of the best traits that he brings. The way he, got up into Nembhard, man, that guy's frustrating. Nembhard was getting loose, but Deuce slowed him down as well. Neesmith, we forced him into foul trouble. We can't forget that. So yeah, the turnovers, the grittiness that these guys showed, makes me so proud. And we definitely wear this victory with pride, man. Along with Deuce McBride stepping up. Now the Jericho show is up next. Obviously, we have to recognize that we didn't have Quentin Grimes tonight as well, right? Such as the craziness has been lost that I forgot that Quentin Grimes did not suit up tonight. So it was literally Malachi Flynn, stepping up as the 8th man, which lets you know how big Deuce and Sims' minutes were. Jericho was 1 of 1 from the field in his 12 minutes. Got 4 offensive boards, no defensive, 4 offensive. Got 3 blocks, 2 points and a -5, right? 3 blocks and 4 offensive rebounds for Jericho, man, in 12 minutes. That is unbelievable stat right there, man. Talk about a guy that just comes in and dominates the paint, giving us what we need. Man, Jericho gets an A, for me. 1 of 1 from the field. 4 offensive boards and 3 blocks. Sensational, right? Talk about another guy who we drafted, homegrown, is stepping into this bigger role, and doing it effortlessly, right? I love that one when he swatted Nembhard, threw it back in his face, right? That was a pretty block, that one. I think, Sims was still on the ground, feet were on the ground when Nembhard rose up for that shot. But Sims, he elevates with crazy hops. And he said, not in my house. man, the Jericho show, that was an awesome block, and he continues to play, above his contract, which is great for the future of the ball club, that these guys are really stepping in. And that's the example of why we might not make any move, with Deuce and with Jericho, a guard and a big, both stepping into these bigger roles. Hey, they're saying Leon Rose, watch out, we can do the job. We're the men for the job, and I think, they might just, convince him not to, make any hasty moves, because these guys are definitely stepping up, and the camaraderie is going to continue to build. Where do I rank this game? Buzzer Beater says, I think this one is up there with, in terms of the comeback, gritty comeback wins. I think this and the Brooklyn win is right up there. I think I'm going to put it along the top 10 in the season. I think this one tonight is going to go in the top 5. Along with I love the Denver win. The Philadelphia win in Philly was a huge win. Beating the Timberwolves after getting OG was a big one. So yeah, they're some of my top 5, on the season. In terms of shorthanded with Brunson taking over the Garden tonight, I think I'm going to put this one in the top 5 for the season. Where does it rank for you? Yeah, as Clemente says, Devo show's been amazing, which has also been a big reason why the Knicks are doing so good. Yeah, I think he's a guy who's got good chemistry now with Brunson. He wasn't afraid to even jack tonight. He was just like, the team needs me. The team needs the scoring. I can't hesitate, and I need to put up points. And I love that. The thing is, no guy looks out of their depth. They just look confident out there. They look comfortable. A lot of teams could sort of hang their heads and say, look, we're up against a good team. We're shorthanded. But every guy seems like they want that smoke, which I love. Deuce McBride, like, he wasn't even rattled tonight. He was like, I'm the one that's going to help my team win. And Jericho, like, he's always Jericho. Even when he swatted Nemhard, no emotion on his face. It was like, this is what I do, right? Get with the program, right? Tell your friends about me. I block shots now, and I'll block you again if you come into my house, So, Jericho, ever since he did the dunk contest as well, he's confident. He just doesn't show it, And yeah, the chemistry's fantastic, like you guys keep saying, right? So that's pretty much the bench, right? I know Malachi Flynn, got in there, and we'll say a few words on Malachi because he did come in and give guys a spell, right? It was important. Down Grimes, we needed the 8th guy, right? Evan Fournier is back with the squad. He was out for personal reasons, but he seemed, pretty happy on the sideline. I was expecting Evan Fournier to get some burn tonight. I'm kind of surprised he didn't. But when I'm thinking about it right now, with the trade talks going down, probably, if you're not going to play Fournier on a night like tonight where we needed offense, I think that's it. I won't be surprised if Evan Fournier doesn't get another minute for the New York Knicks, with the trade talks going on. It might happen, it might not. But I think the fact that they gave Malachi those minutes ahead of Evan Fournier kind of lets me know. Unless Fournier's dealing with some kind of, condition that we don't know about. But yeah, Malachi had 7 minutes. He looked confident. He did play make a little bit. He got an assist, a rebound, but he missed his shots. Missed his 2 threes, and was 0 of 3 from the field, but got to the line. That's what I liked about his game tonight. He's got a good handle. He did get a foul. He drew a foul off Miles Turner. That was a nice play. And then he did drive to the cup. a couple times. I think, coming out of the rotation and then stepping into a cauldron kind of night with, huge spotlight on him. I think it's going to take him, a minute to kind of, showcase what he can do. But I don't know how many chances he'll get. If OG's back, Grimes is back next game, he'll go back to situational. But basically, he was Grimes minutes, tonight. And he made a couple plays, got to the line, he was aggressive. But we really just needed the extra body, right? Keeping it a buck. We needed 7-8 minutes out of him, man, so that we didn't have to overplay Deuce or Hart and DiVincenzo. But in terms of that, man, next guy up, no one else got in. Taj Gibson's here as the backup, emergency backup. Jacob Toppin didn't get in late. Right, this one was down to the wire. And we're about to salute Tom Thibodeau before we look at the road ahead and see what's happened around the league tonight. Salute to everyone, Knicks Nation. Right, smash that like button. We buzzing. Right, when have we experienced this? In our fandom. For me, it goes back since '94. Right, that's close to when I started to become a fan. Right, I became a fan around 92, 93. But yeah, man, we're on pace, right, to light up the league, and hopefully get that second seed, ladies and gentlemen. 15 games over, with a 9-game winning streak. We're buzzing as a fan base. We here. Eastern Conference player, coach of the month, Tom Tibbs. Man, we're gonna give Tibbs some props because this isn't possible. Without a guy, leading the charges, a guy who's making adjustments. I think his challenges tonight were great, right? He didn't hesitate. He used the 2 challenges. He was aggressive with that. Not playing Evan tonight, I kind of get that. I understand that. We talked about that. He could have taken a technical tonight, but I guess he knew how close the game was going to be. That kind of surprised me how Tibbs kept his emotions in check tonight because it was getting out of control. I'm not going to lie, man. If Julius was playing in tonight's game, best believe this was a game Julius would have picked up a technical. We had some cool heads out there. Brunson, maybe they felt the refs knew they effed up, and they gave him some leniency. But I like what Tibbs is doing. He's deserves the coach of the month. I think Brunson was stiffed for Eastern Conference Player of the Month. Donovan Mitchell pulled the Cavs to 12-2 on the month, but we were 14-2. Short-handed. So I think Brunson should have got Player of the Month, but Tibbs, NBA Coach of the Month with 14-2, and he might be in the running for another Coach of the Year, fam. What do you guys think? Will says the 94 playoff run began my fandom, and I was in the first grade. Yeah, good times, fam. Salute. Not how it ended, but the run was just the expectations were there that we were a great team. We're gonna do great. Jerry says 99 finals. Yeah, we're coming. I was starting high school in the 99 finals, man, and it was a case of I was so surprised that the Knicks went on that run, but when they did, right, it was crazy, right? It was so good, Spreewell, Houston, and a Pat. I wanted them to get it done. Unfortunately, those injuries, the Spurs, right, they made it difficult for us, man. It was tough. Buzzer says number 1 game of the year. We were short-handed and to beat the refs too. Yep, feels great, man. Salute, right? We appreciate. This is in my top 5. Yep. I mean, in terms of excitement and grittiness, it's at the top. In terms of like basketball execution and prettiness, the Mavericks, the Nuggets and the Sixers, too, fam. And of course the Miami Heat. I was trying to think of that third one. In terms of and the Wolves. Obviously the Wolves, the Sixers, the Nuggets, and the Heat. Were 4 of the prettiest kind of basketball displays in this run. But tonight was at the top in terms of the grittiness, backs to the wall, kind of thing. Yeah, Hans also says the 99 finals. You were in high school as well. Yep. We've come a long way, but finally we're here. And the story is this thing is sustainable, and we're coming. We obviously this year, we try to take our chances. If Randle is going to miss, then so be it. We need to adjust, and we need to try to get the best out of this season. But what I'm looking forward to is the future as well. That's beyond this season. I think what we're seeing from Brunson is we have a legit MVP candidate, an all-star now, alongside another all-star with Randle. And Leon has something more to cook with in the off-season. Talking about how can I, add to this. But to help us get this win, right, I'm going to give Tom Thibodeau an A. Eastern Conference Coach of the Month. Continues to get these guys up for each game, pulls the right strings, and we're riding this wave, too, fam. So salute to Tom Thibodeau, salute to everybody. Well deserved. And like I said, if we continue the wave, he might get Coach of the Year again, realistically. I mean, how many people predicted us to be where we are, man? Fighting the Milwaukee Bucks for the second seed. I mean, Vegas had us at 44.5 and then 45.5. I think it moved up one win. And even some doubters, some former doubters like Tim Bontemps, ESPN, he was like, yeah, get on that. That's a given with Thibodeau. So shout out everyone that believed, 45 wins, and now we're coming for a 50-plus win season. I don't want to linger on the officials for too long, but we need to, on a night like tonight, man, we need to give them their much deserved F, right, for foolery. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I didn't know you could play basketball while getting punched in the face. I didn't know you could be dragged down while you're going up for a layup. I didn't know that some of these, push-offs weren't push-offs. The blocking foul. I mean, it's just insane tonight. It was probably the worst officiated game of the season for me in any Knicks game that I've seen. Right? That we know the games that went viral. The Raptors coach, Roy Yakovich, we know he went viral, man. He went spaz on the video. We know Mike Brown out in Sacktown. We know he went ham with the laptop, right? They're better men than me because I would have just got tossed on the sideline. Like if I was Tibbs, right, I would have just given him a mouthful, man. I mean, now that it's still coming back to me, I can't believe that they let that play go where Brunson was punched on the sideline, writhing in pain on the floor, and they just let the pacer guy grab the ball and lay it up with a minute remaining or something. A minute and a half remaining in the game. I'm like, are these guys for real? Like, that's corruption at its finest. We might see tonight's game as part of a future documentary. You know what I'm talking about there. I mean, that was just, it was just, unforgivable what we saw tonight from the refs. And that's what makes this win even sweeter. So, with that said, man, they can F off. And I hope these guys don't officiate another game, like Buzzer Beater says, too. But yeah, we got the Coach of the Year, and we're rolling now. Lake Show coming into town. LeBron rested tonight. AD rested. Let's get him, man. We beat the Lakers before. We'll beat them again. We'll continue to ride this wave, fam. We're on our 10th straight, and maybe go 16 games over. I'm about to pull up the standings. Yeah, and we'll see what's happening around the league right tonight, because the Knicks are inching closer to that second seed. ladies and gentlemen, as the Milwaukee Bucks lost. And we're going to look at it right now and see where the Knicks sit in the standings. As we bring that up, we've got Philly up by 10. Okay, that's interesting. It's only at the half, so maybe the Jazz will fight back a little bit. The Knicks obviously got their win. And we see the Boston Celtics go down to a short-handed leg show, right? The Cavs unfortunately picked up a win, but we are not looking back. Right, so that's the action tonight. It wasn't many games. We'll see if Philly can hold the lead. But as we stand here right now, and we look at the standings, as this thing loads up, we are half a game off the Bucks, ladies and gentlemen, for the second seed in the East. Right, 4.5 games back, the Bucks of first, and we are 5 games back of first, right? Just 1 loss away. So we've got to beat the Lakers. Hopefully the Bucks lose their next one, and we'll be in the second seed, baby. Salute. Knicks buzzing. Of course, the Cavs continue to be pesky. They ain't going away. And then the Sixers, we'll see if they can, pick up the win. But there's a little bit of separation between us and the Sixers. It's no looking back now, man. The Knicks are on it, and we're rolling. And we'll capitalize on this. Yep. Yeah, it was a huge swing. They lost to Portland yesterday. Definitely, man. Salute, chat. Edward says, can the league hold refs accountable for awful officiating? I think they should do more, definitely. They don't do enough. They do release the reports, and they won't reveal what they do with the refs. They do it behind closed doors. They probably bring them in, for a chat, and they probably talk to them. But I mean, there's no consequences. They get to officiate the next game, right? They probably don't get any suspensions. Yep. Hans says we're jumping out the window. We certainly are, man. Best situation since '94. Now's a no better time to be a fan, man. Leave the doubt or the hesitation in the past. Because we have players like no other now, along with Jalen Brunson, another All-Star Julius Randle, DiVincenzo, and OG stepping in. And like I said, the big men that are handling the business. Yep, for us. Yep. The Cavs are at full strength. They got Mobley and they got Garland back. Yep. And they've got a very, very dangerous Donovan Mitchell, who's been playing really good ball. So I think, the Knicks, to our credit, we fought through such a tough schedule. It really was, such a tough start to the season. And I think January we capitalized, and we're starting to capitalize now in February with this homestand, right? Such an incredible homestand with 14 games, with 2 of them in between at Carolina and at Barclays at Brooklyn. So it's like really the 14 games were like home games, like 14 in a row. So we are capitalizing, man. And that's one of the biggest reasons we're buzzing right now. But yeah, the Lakers up next. Man, Saturday night, big time, box office TV. And then we have 2 days rest. We have Memphis with no Ja Morant. And then Dallas. We owe Dallas that one, man. We owe Dallas. Luka or no Luka. Right, I need us to win that game. And then Indiana come back to MSG again as well. I'm going to assume it's, over a week away. I'm going to assume OG is back at least by then. And I don't think anyone should be worried about OG's situation. We're probably looking at these games thinking, yeah, we can handle it. Just, rest until it's fully healed. And I would probably look at resting OG against LA, because if we can beat them and we beat Memphis, you bring OG back against Dallas. You give it another week so that it doesn't flare up again. and you let that elbow inflammation heal, because you know that thing can linger as well. Once you get hit or you get a knock, that thing can continue to go. So what do you guys think? Maybe we rest OG another week. We bring him back for the Dallas game. I think we can beat LA, and I think we can beat Memphis. I know we can beat them. Yep. Michael says, the Knicks train ain't stopping at all stations. It's express all the way to the championship, dogs. Michael Foda, salute. Welcome in to the show. Yeah, absolutely. It isn't stopping at any stations. We have 2 All-Stars now. The best month of January since 1994, when the Knicks went to the finals. We have an All-Star MVP candidate, Jalen Brunson, closing the deal. He's unstoppable right now. And then also, let's now talk about Joel Embiid, guys. So regardless if Philly win tonight against Utah and they're up 10 at the half, regardless of that, right, if Embiid's set to miss, he has a torn meniscus. So yeah, he's going to miss at least, most of the rest of the season, right? I'm no expert, but how long do you guys think it takes for a torn meniscus, right? Even if you were to get back, it's going to be minutes restriction. There's going to be, uncertainty. Can he take contact again, right? Does he have the durability of the New York Knicks bigs? Man, the Knicks, the door is wide open right now, even for the Cavs and for the Bucks. With Philly in a world of trouble, right? They're going to have to pull the trigger on this DeJounte Murray thing, or try to trade, some assets. Otherwise, their season's going to go down the toilet. Tyrese Maxey by himself, he can't sustain the team by himself. What's coming, right? So yeah, the Knicks, right? Absolutely incredible. We are 18-5 at home now, 14-12 on the road. What a record, man! Sitting here with 32 wins already. And Vegas had it at 45 wins, over under. We have so many games coming up, still. We're not even at the 50 game mark yet. What are we at? 49 games. Right. We're at, yeah, we're at 49 games. So we ain't even at 50 games yet. There's still 33 games, remaining. Right. 33 games remaining. We only need 13 more wins to get the Vegas total, right? And everyone that can cash in on that, right? But that's the big story coming out of tonight. Obviously, the Bucks losing, the Celtics losing. So the Bucks, they're only half a game above the New York Knicks. With this big win, we inch closer to dreaming of that second seed. Right, what are the haters going to say once the New York Knicks can get that second seed? I think that's going to be amazing to get, for the pathway through to the third round. Meniscus is 8 weeks, Michael says, roughly, to get back at elite level sports. Yep. Depends how bad. Will says minimum of 4 weeks. Yep. I think that's on the generous side. Yep, it really is. For a big man that's 7 feet 1, that pivots, turns, twists, falls over all half the time. I mean, yep, definitely. What a great game, Michael Drake. Yep. I mean, how good was tonight, Michael? You were in the building in Charlotte after that win, but tonight the Garden was a playoff atmosphere tonight. I think it's a shame TNT didn't put this one on, or didn't switch it up. But nonetheless, the Lakers come into MSG on Saturday night. That's going to be on national TV. LeBron James, will he make it? I think he will. Right, he's only got so many years left. Right, he doesn't want to miss another game at MSG. And I think Anthony Davis, we never know. He might need to miss that one. But that thing is the atmosphere, the attention is going to be on the Knicks even more now, going for their 10th straight in that game, to be on the weekend on Friday night, Saturday on national TV as well, with LeBron James' potential LA career coming to a close. Whoa, I think that's box office, and I think the Knicks have a great chance of getting their 10th straight win. But the story is half a game back of second now, with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Celtics losing to the shorthanded Lakers tonight. So really, we're only 5 games out of, the first seed. Unfortunately, we don't play the Bucks anymore because we played them a lot. But I do think we still play the Celtics. So that's going to be interesting to see. I've said this a lot. I think the Celtics' success rides on Kristaps Porzingis. I think he's the real difference maker with them. If they don't have KP, we're just looking at last year's Celtics. A team who can go cold in the playoffs with the shooting. I think they can falter. They're not physical outside or in the front court. They're physical in the back court with Holiday and Derek White. But I think Jalen Brunson is the recipe, right, to beat them. He can light them up still. He can draw fouls. I just hope, please, Julius. Hopefully the shoulder, can be right, and he doesn't need surgery till the summer. And I think Julius Randle, 3 to 4 weeks after All-Star break, he might be able to get back. We play Philly, Boston, Detroit, Pelicans, and the Warriors to conclude the month right after the All-Star break. So he's going to be reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks. So if we look at this week, 5th to the 10th, or 5th to the 11th, next week, and then the week after that, and then the All-Star break the week after that. So that is 3 weeks. So we will know the updated timetable post the All-Star break. And I think that's going to give us a lot of clarity, really. Guys are stepping up in a major way with Deuce McBride, Precious Achiuwa, Isaiah. We can't sustain a lot of poor shooting nights, though. With DiVincenzo not shooting as well, we're going to need great efficiency and production from DiVincenzo together with Brunson. But Hart's poor first half was a big factor, and great second half. If he can play a complete game, I think Josh Hart in that starting lineup does help make up for a lot with Precious as well, there. But I think with OG, back to him, I think it's wise to, not, play it safe with OG, maybe keep him out until next week, not being too short-sighted, because I think we have enough to beat LA. Obviously, it's still going to be great, if OG's, ready to go. By all, by all means, get him in, and definitely he's going to be a huge impact, defensively, offensively, against the Lakers, and then we have 2 days rest after that. So I think that's a big factor. If we need to rest OG a little bit more, even for Memphis, that's going to give him another 5 days. How do you guys feel about OG having maybe a little bit more of a break? Because Hart stepping in, so's Precious. Yep. Edward says it's going to be amazing spring at MSG, New York Knicks and New York Rangers. Yep. New York town, man, sporting town. It's going to be electric, bro. Like Michael Drake says it is and was in Charlotte. Nick Yak says it's already reported 3 weeks. Randle is coming back after All-Star break, unless something else happens. So there's a little bit of ambiguity. So from what I read, and people can read it in different ways, I certainly understand. From what I see is they're reevaluating Randle in 3 weeks. It doesn't mean he's back in 3 weeks. He could certainly be back close to 3 weeks or around 3 weeks if the all clear comes. But we still need to wait for the all clear. So let's hope. I think depending how it goes, how rehab goes for the next 2 to 3 weeks as well. But yeah, it's looking more on the positive side. That's the main beam of light for us, because I just want to see this team complete full health, really knowing where we're headed. Like Michael says, the train not stopping at any stations. It's running express to the second seed. But you get away the Brunsons playing, and together with the rest of the team, with a healthy Randle and a healthy OG Anunoby, I think the Knicks are the second best team in the East right now, on paper. Obviously, can beat the Celtics on any day. I think the Bucks. I think like all the predictions, all the kind of naysayers said early, you lose defense, Damian Lillard, you lose Drew Holiday's defense. Offensively, they're going to have to be lights out. I think that's the best way the Bucks can play. I mean, they got lit up by Indiana. You can definitely score on them in a hurry, and I definitely have faith in Brunson going at Dame, and capitalizing on that. Chris Middleton, right? He was a big factor coming in, but yeah, he's not shown to be much of a factor, for them, right? So, yeah, we had a Woj trade as well, like Hans says, kind of a Woj bomb, but a trade on the margins for me, where Steven Adams is traded from the Memphis Grizzlies to the Houston Rockets for Victor Oladipo. So yeah, they're calling for some help in the absence of Ja Morant. It's going to be interesting. Yep. If he is ready, he plays, says Nick Yak. You don't give away any games. Yep, 100%. And that's why Julius is so deserving of that third-time All-Star. Like you said, he doesn't take games off. He loves to play. And you factor in other guys that like to sit out. And he's also on a really reasonable contract as well. No doubt he's going to be ready to get paid a big extension when the time comes. But we'll address that when that comes. We've got playoff wins to get. We've got to take this chance. That's all I'm saying. 94. It's been a long ride. It's been 30 years to this point, and the Knicks have had their best month. In Jan, we turned the leaf. Feb, we got All-Star break. I'm grateful that other guys are going to get a bit of a rest. We know Brunson's going to be in the All-Star game as a reserve. He's going to shoot the 3-point contest as well. He's going to be money. But I think it's going to be good for Brunson too, because while the All-Star break's still there, it's not a contesting, it's not a competitive game. He's going to get a chance to rest some as well. With about a week with no Knicks games, so that's going to be key for Brunson's legs, for the final stretch of the season. And all these other guys playing 40 minutes. Isaiah is going to be able to rest that Achilles, which we know has been flaring up, and DiVincenzo has been stepping up, playing huge minutes. We need to get him a little rest as well, right? So we got the Lakers, Memphis, Dallas, Indy, Houston, and Orlando. We have 6 more games remaining until the All-Star break. So really, we see the mini stretch, the halfway point of the season technically, even though we're past the halfway point in games. But the All-Star break is really the time to get that rest in. We see if Leon can call upon some help. I still think he's going to do something. Something just tells me, guys, that whether it's something on the margins, just another offensive-minded player that can create a bit. We know when Brunson sits, and we wait to see how Randle looks when he gets back. I think we could do with another shot maker for real. But we have guys, Malachi could probably step up in a bigger minute. Deuce continues to step up. And like to die for says, 1 game at a time. It's hard. It's hard in terms of what we're doing. People jumping out the window. Yep. And I think it's very reasonable, right? We haven't seen this in 30 years, but we're excited, fam. Nick Yak says, talking OG, you want sitting an extra game. Yep. I think if it depends how it feels. Like if he's good to go, get him back in there. But I feel like if it's kind of still needing some extra time to heal up, I think you give him that extra day for Memphis. Yep. So ready to wrap this thing up. It's been a buzzer beaters. It's best win of the year. It's top 5 for me. And we continue. Top 5, we're alive. And this season is well and truly rolling right now to success that we haven't seen in a long time. But we have our eyes on the finish line. And that is the playoffs, right? We've got the All-Star break with 6 games coming before that. Tonight was all about the announcement of 2 All-Stars. So shout out Julius Randle. Again, 3rd-time All-Star. Jalen Brunson, 1st-time All-Star. Right? He was holding back emotions in the post-game interview. Put the team on his back tonight with everyone else stepping up. And we continue to face adversity and win. And this thing is sweet. Right? Beating the pacemakers. This is the one that I really wanted to get as well. Salute everyone. Replay squad. Smash that like button. The streets are buzzing. And I will see you post-game live Saturday night after the Lake show comes into Mecca. And I will see if LeBron can get up. But I like our chances. And let's get the 10th straight. Peace, everyone. Have a great night.